right? The history of British fascism is interesting. Well, it is to me anyway, and it should be to you if you're into the history of British politics, because fascism is part of the history of British politics. Fascism isn't just a German thing. It's not just about Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. Fascism exists wherever capitalism exists. Fascism is just capitalism in decay. It's just the extremity of capitalism, the ultimate extremity, when capitalism is threatened by the working class, when the working class is politically conscious enough to take power, to take over from the ruling class, to get rid of the ruling class in a revolution. That's when fascism comes to the very fore. And the working class has to do battle with fascism to succeed in that revolution. This is what happened in Russia. Before the revolution of 1917, the working class did battle with the Black Hundreds, who were kind of a precursor to Hitler's Nazis. The same happened in Italy in the 1920s. The working class did battle with Mussolini's forces. And in Germany, the working class fought the fascist movement there. And of course in Spain later on in the Spanish Civil War. And all this, I mean, there's been the same kind of conflict in Britain. It just hasn't got to the same sort of level. Oswald Mosley and his British Union of Fascists in the 1930s, they were allied with Hitler, and they tried to make Britain a fascist state. But the working class of Britain didn't allow it. They fought back, and they stopped Mosley in his tracks. And it's still ongoing today. Fascism doesn't go away, not while capitalism exists. You have fascist organisations constantly trying to build a movement, trying to become rooted in communities so that they can twist people's minds, turn people into haters, turn them against their own class, against minorities, and in defence of capitalism. So fascism is ongoing in every country, including Britain. So there has to be an anti-fascist movement. Tommy Robinson is the leading figure, or one of the leading figures of British fascism today. When people say he's not a fascist, that's bullshit. He started out in the BNP, a fascist party. He was mentored by John Tyndall, who was chairman of the BNP, and prior to that chairman of the National Front, and prior to that a member of the League of Empire Loyalists, who was led by Arthur Chesterton, who was in the BUF with Oswald Mosley and allied to Hitler. Oh yes, Tommy Robinson's lineage goes back to the BUF and Hitler and the Nazis. So anyone who thinks Robinson isn't a fascist just doesn't know anything about fascism. But yeah, British fascism is still ongoing and still has to be confronted, still has to be opposed, and still has to be prevented from getting to power. Now, Reform UK are not exactly a fascist party, but they do have fascists in their party. And they are extreme right-wing, and they are right-wing populist, and they are a stepping stone to fascism. And they need to be stopped. Now, it's understandable when people are sick of the Labour Party that is in cahoots with big business. But moving from the Labour Party to Reform UK is a big mistake. A big mistake. All you're doing there is making fascism more likely in Britain. And fascism will destroy democracy completely, will destroy all our freedoms. It will take away workers' rights. It will annihilate the free press. It will annihilate the Labour Party and all other political opposition. And it will create a holocaust to destroy minorities. The final solution, as Hitler called it. We don't want that. We don't want evil to prevail. We've got to have democracy. We've got to have freedom, or as much freedom as we can have under capitalism. So fascists have to be opposed, and that means exposing people like Robinson for the fascists that they are. He's in jail at the minute, but he's trying to get out early. But jail won't stop him, because he will be released eventually, and he will continue peddling his hate, and he will connect with gullible people, and he will continue trying to build a fascist movement so he can take over the state of Britain and make Britain a fascist state. We can't have that. We can't fucking have that. People need to come to their senses. People need to be educated and enlightened and awakened to fascism and how to stop it. Anyway, yeah, just a quick video on British fascism. See you in the next one. Bonjour.